Hi guys, I'm David with Media Unlocked Tech, and today I want to be showing you how to clone your hard drive. And what I mean by that is actually being able to pretty much copy all the files off your actual operating system right here, copy all these files onto an external hard drive, an SSD, that then is going to be put into the computer, and that will be my main hard drive. So mainly it would be making a clone that is bootable. It's a pretty simple process. We're going to use a program called SuperDuper. A few things to mention. I got the 250 gig SSD Samsung EVO hard drive SSD, and I got the bare basic, which is just the hard drive. It doesn't come with anything but the hard drive and a CD. Now the CD, as far as the migration and making a hard drive bootable and copying it over and cloning it, that only works with PC computers. They don't have a Mac migration tool at all, which kind of sucks. So that's why we're going to use SuperDuper today. As well, if you get the laptop version of the SSD, because they do make a laptop version which comes with extra components for the SSD, this will allow you to hook up the hard drive directly to your computer via USB. That is exactly what I'm going to do. What I did is I had an external hard drive case, and I just took out the SATA part and connected it to my SSD, so I didn't need that extra. I didn't need to spend that extra $50. I just paid about $150 for the 250 gig SSD, and it came with a CD and the hard drive, and that's it. For $200, you can get a whole laptop kit. There will be links down below if you want to check them out on Amazon if you're interested in buying this yourself and duplicating the process that I'm doing. So let's get started. So the first thing we need to do is we need to open up Disk Utilities, and of course we're going to need to hook up the hard drive, so that's what I'm going to do right now. Again, I will show you a picture of the piece that comes with the laptop kit, as well as I'll show you a picture and some video right now of the way I've got it hooked up. So this popped up, and we need to initialize it, so it's probably going to open up a disk utility for me. So once that opens up, there's my SSD right there. So then we're going to go to erase. We want to make it Mac OS Extended Journal, and we're going to go on and hit erase, erase. And that won't take too long. Once that's done, we're going to open up, actually we could go on and do that right now if we wanted to. We could go on and open up SuperDuper, don't use, and we'll go on and open that up. And here it is, and the SSD is done. So now what we're going to do is we're going to copy the Mac hard drive, and we're going to copy it to the untitled Samsung. So this is the untitled version. I could go and add a name into it, then it would have a name. I want to back up all the files. You can go in and like schedule backups and all that, which is kind of cool. So this software can be used outside of cloning a hard drive, and then you do have an option where you can go in and you can do more options, and you have an advanced option here. I don't really need to worry about any of that. We're just doing basic cloning here. So we're just going to hit OK, and we're going to say copy now. So just put in my password. You're about to erase the untitled hard drive. Again, there's nothing on it, so we're just going to go on and do it. And this is going to take a little while. I don't know how long it will actually take to do it in my Mac. I got, I don't know, quite a few gigs worth of stuff. If you ever want to know about information about your Mac, you can go here. This gives you a little bit of information. Hit the Apple About Mac, and then you can go into more info. So it's got a copy over probably quite a bit of stuff, I would guess. And I'm using about 60, 70 gigs, 70, 80 gigs, almost 80 gigs. So it's got a copy over 80 gigs worth of stuff. So that's going to take a little bit of time. If you don't have much on your hard drive already, then it won't take as long. But now it's copying the files, and as you can see, the bar is going to be pretty slow. So I'm going to pause this, and I will be back once this is finished and walk you through the rest of the process. And then the next video, we're going to actually install everything. So that'd be pretty. Okay guys, so the copying of the hard drive has finished. So instead of taking the old hard drive out of the MacBook Pro and installing the new SSD, what we're going to do is we're actually going to shut down the laptop, and then we're going to boot it back up. We'll have the SSD plugged in via USB, and we'll have the laptop boot off the SSD instead of the internal hard drive. As long as that works quite well and everything boots up fine, we will open up the MacBook Pro and move the old hard drive to the CD optical bay and move the new SSD to the old hard drive, the actual bay that the hard drive goes into on the MacBook Pro. And then we will switch optical drives and put the optical drive in the MacBook Pro 2012 into the 2009 MacBook Pro. So we have now finished doing the clone of the SSD, which I've got plugged in via a external hard drive piece right here, and just plugged in via USB all the way up to here. So it has been cloned. So now what we want to do is we want to make sure that the clone works. So we're going to go on and start up the computer. As soon as you get a light, hit Option and hold down the Option key. Once you hold that down for a few seconds, all the hard drives are going to pop up. So of course, the hard drive that we just cloned is going to be this one right here that's plugged into the USB here, the SSD right here, and we're just going to click Enter. And now we're going to see if it will boot from the solid state hard drive, and if it does, then all is well, and we will pop it into the computer next. So it's going to take a few seconds to load. Like I said, this only got 4 gigs of RAM and a 500 gig 5400 RPM hard drive. So this Mac moves pretty fast. It's, I've only had it for like 3 weeks, but it can move much faster with 16 gigs of RAM and the SSD, which we'll be installing today. So we're just waiting for it to boot up, make sure that it can read the hard drive, make sure there was no issues in the cloning process. And it does not appear there was any. And as you can see, the SSD has booted up with everything that I had on the hard drive previously. Now it's probably going to be a little bit slow because we are running the operating system via USB instead of via SATA internal hard drive. So this is good. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to go up here and we're going to shut the computer down. And in our next video, I'm going to show you guys how to install the solid state hard drive, the RAM, and add an extra hard drive. So you'll have 2 hard drives inside your MacBook Pro. Of course, you will have to lose your optical CD drive in exchange for getting an extra hard drive. For me, I hardly ever use a CD drive. And if I really wanted a CD drive, I just order one via USB. So I could just plug it in via USB and do it that way. That is allowing me to have a faster computer and extra hard drive space inside of it. So I hope this tutorial helped you guys out with cloning your drive and getting it set up and ready to be installed into the inside of your MacBook Pro or whatever device you're doing. This is a pretty universal process across the board. So you guys have a great day, and we'll catch you next time for the installation of the hard drive, and of course we're going to throw in some memory, and we're going to throw in a hard drive Caddy right here, and this will allow the 5400 RPM 500 gig hard drive. It will allow it to sit in the CD drive. So you guys have a great one. Catch you next time.